Hello and welcome into the Sorare Data Show. I am Andrew Laird. You can find me as Lairdinho on Sorare. Today, doing a little accounting, excuse me. Nice, notice my camera's a little off here. It's going to be a spreadsheet show. Apologies to Peter Stoyanov, who I know just cringes every time he even knows that there's a spreadsheet going on. But there's some lessons to be learned, or maybe not, maybe just things to be observed. Who knows? But we're going to get into it because I came in first in Challenger in-season Rare Division 2. Got my payment yesterday, and it was quite nice. Quite nice. Thank you, everybody, for coming in. Toby, Sean Thorpe, and Mikey Baston on the podium. Mike, way to get in. Toby said, I'm guessing the frustration is because you would have won more money in Division 1. That's part of it, for sure. Stefan, what's up? So Rare Soul. Surely now you FOMO into the J&K League. I'm not there yet, but we'll see. So Rare Samurai, what's up? Jorge, Sean Kennedy, So Rare Burrow, Red or Dead. Thanks for coming in, guys. Much appreciated. Shout out to all the lurkers out there. Love having you here as well. Looks like, Dobbsy in the house as well. Hello. So I'm just going to get right into it because, why not? I did a show on YouTube on October 4th, 2024. That was called, it had like a weird, it had the Drake meme where I was like shying away the road to glory. And I was pointing at what I called it FATG, which early in this stream, I don't want to ruin all of my possible monetization by swearing, but mess around to glory. And I did an experiment basically of could I kind of short-term play Challenger Limited and Rare based on matchups like that game week. And essentially I bought like some set piece takers and I was like, let me go do it. And those cards ended up being a very key part of what I went on to do. Mike Basson said, at least you paid off the Challenger Limited experiments. So yes, kind of. Depends how you want to account for it. And the way that I've been accounting for it, my Challenger experiments are very much not paid for because I'm trying to figure out different ways of how I want to track what I'm doing. And really what I've been focusing on recently is specifically like competition and scarcity. So how have I done in Challenger in-season Rare? How have I done in Challenger in-season Limited? How have I done in Contender? That's actually a much tougher one. And I can get into that in a little bit. But like I said, not with the limiteds themselves, just with the principle. Yeah, that's, well, again, not quite. And I'll show you that. I'll show why that's the case. So I'm trying to find the game week here because I had it up. I guess we could just look at it for ourselves. But when I did that FATG, I didn't have the exact same limited and rare lineups, but I had fairly similar ones. And that's what I want to discuss, at least to start. So it was game week, I think it was game week 15. Yes, game week 15. So let's go back there. And I'm going to do it here on our beta site. So the whole show, the FATG, was about these cards right here. And the funny thing about this lineup here is I was describing what I did. And for those listening, the lineup, it was Challenger in-season Division 2, was Sinan Bolat, Mats Kollert, Sofian El Korani, Doguchan Haspalat, and Patrick Fluck, whose name I wasn't sure if it was Fluck or Fluke. And now I'm kind of like, is it Flurk? Fluke? I don't know. Anyway, so I made this lineup based on their matchups. Bolot was still at Westerlo, so it was Bolot and Haspelot home against Beershot, and this is showing Bolot's current team, but that's not it. Kohler was at home against Zwolle. El Krouani was home against Walwick. I think that's who that is, right? Yeah. And Fluke was home against Leuven. And they were all taking set pieces, obviously, except for Bolot. And my question was, can these guys get me to win Division 2? And the Division 2 prize pool at the time was $400, was the top prize. And I didn't win. I won $5 and added, and then, but this kind of like started the challenger thing. And so what I did do is made a very comparable lineup to this in rare, which won $50. That lineup had my classic Fernando Muslera in it, Kohler, Haspelot, Fluke, and I played Jacob Briam instead of, who was the other guy in that one? Instead of El Krouani. So Kohler had 85 with no decisive, El Krouani 82 with a decisive, Haspelot 98 with a decisive. He was captained. Fluke 67 with a decisive, and Bolot conceded in this game. Because of course he did. In fact, this is, oh wait, hold on. Yeah, it's showing the other one. So I actually had more success with the rare lineup than the limited, even though in terms of like how much I won. Obviously, those cards are going to cost more than the limiteds. But that's sort of what started the real jump into Challenger. Now, I had built a Midtjylland collection while this happened in rare, which has effectively turned out to be a disaster. And I bought Sparta Rotterdam defensive stack, Nick Olai and Mike Eerdhuizen, if that's how you even say it. And they were going to kind of be the key guys. I don't even know if I played. No, hold on. Did I play them? Yeah, there's Olai, Eerdhuizen, Emmy Martinez from Midtjylland. I played Camille Negley, and then I captained Vinny Souza. That was the other game week. Division 4, didn't matter. But that's basically what started it. And what I have kind of done since then is try to make my way back. Now, the first purchase I made as part of the 2024-25 Challenger season was Paulinho from Midtjylland on July 27th. I think he got injured almost immediately after that. But what basically transpired over time is I bought that like Haspelot. I tried to build a few I didn't build full collections, but of the cards that I was that I thought might be important, obviously like that Haspelot one. I tried to buy other cards to make it more powerful. So like the Haspelot card is really only at 2%. I should just buy another one. But like I bought this Jordan Boss jersey mint. I have this Cone van Langendonk. I actually don't even know if that's in my spreadsheet now that I've done that. Yeah, I think I paid like $3 for this card. 226. Shoot. I'm going to have to add that in. That's annoying. I bought this Matthias Fixels jersey mint. Piedford I bought early on to play with Haspelot, and I bought this Nicholas Madsen card. And Madsen transferred to QPR like shortly after I bought Haspelot. But then the Sparta Rotterdam, I bought a Camille Negley. He also left. He's at Millwall now or something like that. And there were a few other cards that I bought on the way that have turned into be like just essentially disasters. And apologies for the spreadsheet data right now, but like So I spent $41 on Negley, 43 and change on Madsen. I bought this Theo Leone early on. When was this? August 12th. So Leone was playing center back at the beginning of the season. That's funny. I wrote Theo Leone. So he was playing a little bit early in the season at center back, and it was like, oh, okay, like maybe he'll keep playing. And it's just, I forget who was injured. I don't know, it was Vertonghen or somebody, but like they came back, and then Leone was supposed to move back to center mid, center mid, and it didn't. It just disaster. Total terrible buy on that one. And then you can see here, just as part of my tracking, these are all done. This is listed in the date that I acquired them. So you can see, like, I was obviously working on the Midtjylland collection. The Elias Olafsson for 220 has ended up being quite bad. Although now that, like I spent $220 on that card. Now it was July 31st. So like whole season of utility. And I really have only won $105 in total rewards from that card. Like that card has been in 3 cash winning lineups, and that's equated to $105. And what I do, if anybody's new here, I basically just take 1/5 of the lineup rewards and I equate that to the card. The reason I do 1/5 instead of how many points they scored in the lineup is I have total control over which cards are in my lineups, but I have no control over how many points they score. And so that's why I'm comfortable using 1/5 as the value of how much that card contributed. You need to have 5 cards, and I can choose which 5 are there. So anyway, so $221 I spent basically, and Elias Olafsson has essentially won $21. But so Negley and Madsen ended up being disasters. Negley actually, did he not win a single thing? Yeah, not one. God, that's so annoying. Madsen left and then barely started playing. And then it's like Peedford, I thought was going to play regularly for Westerlo. I basically thought Westerlo might be one of those teams that score a lot of fantasy points, but are still bad. And I was okay with that. Like, I don't care if they win or lose. So it was like, Haspelot, Madsen, and Peedford, like maybe that would be okay. Turned out it wasn't okay. So there's my Nick Olai purchase that gave me another in-season goalkeeper that I needed. A lot more Midtjylland. There's Mike Eerdhuizen, who I bought to pair with Olai. Toby said, this is the best Sorare data content. Nothing like a bit of accounting. Ben said, why does the profit section of Olafsson show 199? So the way that I did it is cost of the card minus the 1/5 of the rewards that it's won. So 220 spot 91 minus $21 is $199.91. Chris said, shouldn't your captain earn more than 1/5? That's actually a good point, Chris. That's a good point. But I'm way too lazy to do that. Yeah. Ben, no worries. No worries. So anyway, so I've done this before, but I'm just going to kind of quickly go through it. So Brium, I bought much later. I actually had I think I had his limited card. Well, maybe not. I don't know. But I bought Jacob Brium on my birthday. I bought this Philip Krastev. He played for Zwolle, still does, and took set pieces. And I was like, oh, Brium and Krastev. There's my Kohlert buy. I bought Michael Vlap. That one actually worked out pretty well. And then some more Midtjylland. I bought Marco Bulat, who was taking set pieces for Standard Liège and got benched almost right after that. This Jacob Brium is a jersey mint, so I bought another one. You will also notice here, let me get through that and then I'll finish. These are jersey mints. Who's this? Elias Sebui and Levi Smans to help with the Mats Kohlert card. Bought some more Sparta Rotterdam. Like the Sparta collection, such a disaster that I don't know what I was thinking. Like I have Sparta Rare and Limited. So the rare one is at 3%. And I have a limited one, which I'll get into in a little bit, maybe. But anyway, And then I bought Jarny Stoikers from Genk because I was like, I really need a better card. And then I bought Matt Smets from Genk as well. So basically what I've been doing is, I mean, this is how I just check how much I'm spending on these. Jacob Briam is out for the season, and I sold one of the Briams that I had. I kept the jersey mint because, like, how do you not keep the jersey mint? So I actually bought that card for $35.74. It helped me win $180 worth of rewards, which I equated to $36 specifically for that Briam card. And then I sold it for 35 cents. Oh, excuse 35 cents, $35.42. So that profit's actually wrong. Hold on. What's my math doing here? Buy versus sale plus. Oh, that's why. Hold on. Sorry. Yeah, this should just be this, right? Yeah, there we go. $36. So I profited $36 on that Briam, $36 in the reward, and then sale price of $35.42. I actually should go back and see what I actually got for that card because I forgot about the market credit. I'm not the market credit, the secondary market fee. But the other thing that I wanted to point out here, and all of these numbers are basically like the winning lineups, and you'll see here. So Haspelot was in my winning lineup. So the winning lineup for this past game week. This wasn't it. Hold on. Sorry. Actually, I can just click here. So Olai, Eerdhuizen, Haspelot, Stoikers, Ilkorani. That's what won me in Division 2. Now, the reason I was in Division 2 is because this lineup last weekend, Mignolet, Smets, Haspelot, Stoikers, and Vlap. Haspelot and Stoikers redeemed themselves this past weekend. This lineup got relegated. And the crushing thing is looking at it, and it says 1 point to safety. 1 point to safety, excuse me. So I went to the leaderboard. 257 teams were safe. I finished 259th, 2 away. 310.03 was the last lineup to stay safe, and mine was 309.51. And as you notice, both the lineups ahead of me, now this one was relegated anyway, had more bonus points than my lineup had. And this is where I start to tilt my face off a bit, because like all of these collection cards that I could have made more valuable. If I bought more Genk cards, the Smets card gained half a point, and the Stoikers card gained 0.5. They're in the same collection, and I didn't, nothing. 2.2 points from the Haspelot card. Vlap I have is the only 20 card I have, 0.4. And Mignolet is the same way, 0.3. Like all of that was in my, like I could, had I had bigger collections from those cards, I avoid relegation. And avoiding relegation means I don't win $700 this game week. I win $1,800. And that's a big difference. Roughly $1,100. Now I'm going to victory lap slightly, even though everything can change. But I sent this to Gator Guy, and I think it was Harry today. But I take all of my winnings in ETH, and based on the ETH that I got, instead of $700, it's now worth $750. So let's go. And nobody needs to be here and be like, hey, it could also be worth $5 in any day now. Hashtag not financial advice. But let me have that. But yeah, it was absolutely crushing that, like, less than a point. 0.5, what is that? 253 maybe. Half a point. And I win $1,100 more. Sorare Samurai is asking if I could have leveled them up before you played the D1 lineup, or was that before the change to XP? That was before the change. That was the last game week, probably. So this all tracks like when I've won. Now I think it's really important because the way that I put in my spreadsheet is more just for my own ease of tracking, and none of this is easy. Which um, Agent Cooper said that one points to safety phrase staring me in the face would haunt me for a long, long time. Yeah, I mean, it's part of the game. I'm not here to be like, this is why divisions suck. Like, I get it. Like, this is what happens. Like, move on. But so what I wanted to point out here on my tracking spreadsheet is like, I've bought lots of cards from July 27th. How many? I don't even know. Was that 56 cards? I guess I could have just gone down here. From July 27th all the way to January 9th. And I've only won, how many is this? 11 times. There are only 11 game weeks since July, end of July, that I've won something from these cards. And so it's like game week 498, literally before we changed it. So nothing between game week 498 and game week 15. Now we 501 was the last recount. And then it was game week 15, 20, and 21. All right. Game week 29, I placed I cashed in 2 lineups, won $75 that week, and then didn't win anything again until game week 46. 29 to 46. Now, that is the like Christmas break, but it's still a long time. Like 17 game weeks. I won nothing in Challenger Rare in season. And then game week 50, I basically won something in 50, 52, 53, 55, and 58. And like game week 55, I only won $10. I don't even know what lineup this is. Even that, how about that? I won $10 and 2 of the cards from a limited lineup. I played Dario Osorio and Aral Simsir, who were away to Sociedad in a limited lineup with 2 guys from my Ghent collection. Oh, no. Oh, yeah, that was Sociedad. Ghent won 1-0 away to Betis. And a Magnus Matson card. So, like, there are a few times where we did this on What Would You Do yesterday, that people are like, these are my cards. I haven't really been winning. Like, what can I do? And sometimes you just have to wait. Like sometimes you have the right pieces and you just need them to come together. Now, I thought everything was going to change in what game week was that? Game week 21. I won Division 4, I think. It is kind of crazy that I've won 2 divisions and still can't win Division 1. Yeah. Sorry, I got to change the link here. That's going to drive me nuts. I mean, if you can't update a spreadsheet real time on a stream, what can you do? So this lineup is quite strange, but this one Division 4, $200 with an Elias Olafsson classic card, and this David Martinez card was one that I bought from my River Play collection, which is like a contender card. I don't even include this in the Challenger one; it's on my contender, but this was still an in-season card because he was playing for Inter Miami. I don't even what. Oh, when MLS was still in Challenger. Like this was a playoff game that he was playing. And so I've actually, yeah, like I said, I've like won 2 competitions and I was like, all right, like here we go. Now I'll be able to like really get moving here. And I didn't move. I won $25 8 game weeks later. And then it took me 17 more game weeks to win $10. So like if I had numbered every single game week, like you realize like how long it takes. And I don't want to say it's like just hashtag just win once, because I had won D4, but like I had won and it still didn't work out. So I made this kind of like side by side where I showed my cumulative spend and my it was my daily spend, my cumulative spend, my daily reward, which is basically just like the day that the reward was paid. and my cumulative reward. Now, for the ease of accounting, I'm just using the dollar value of the rewards. Now, again, I've taken almost everything in ETH. So the $35 that I won back in August, who knows what it's worth now. And even these cards, like a lot of the cards that I bought, some I bought in cash, some I bought in ETH. And I'm not going to go back and like figure out the difference. Like it's just not important to me. But if you just like look, like my cumulative spend, like I had spent $1,000 between the end of July 27th, and the end of October, 3 months. And within that, I had won 3 times, meaning I had won $35. Is that 50 or $60 and $20. Like who spends $1,000 to win 120? But then I finished first place and I was like, all right, here we go. And I had win, or 115. Then 315 I had won. But again, $315 in rewards after spending 1,000. Kept buying cards because I felt like I needed to help my collections, or maybe it was better cards that I wanted. Then I won $75, get my total up to $390. And it literally was not until this game week that I broke even. Like that chart, this chart right here this is my season. The blue lines here, and for anybody who's like listening to this, it's just a bar chart that shows blue lines, which are cumulative spend per day. It's not quite per day. It's basically when I spent each day. And then the red lines are my rewards. And what's slightly sickening is had I not been relegated, this is what the chart looks like. And I am just, you would never hear the end of it from me. But I didn't win Division 1. I won Division 2. I'm in Division 1 now. So there's that. And not only that, so at this point now I have to add the $2 of that Lairdinho in because I hadn't done it. So it's actually like $13 in profit, if you will. I've spent, I mean, I should just put that in. Where is that stupid card? There he is. Koen van Langendonk. Is that even how you say his name? Oop. Oh, it is. Just pretty phonetic. Are they going to show me the day I actually bought this card? 16 days ago. Anyone want to do the math for me? Probably not. Peter might give you some credits for the bar chart. He should. He absolutely should. All right. February 17th, 2025. 2/17/25. Rare Westerloo. What did I say I spent? 226. Secondary market, but it's a jersey mint. But again, I'm not actually. So 217 I got to get in here now. I know there's a way to automate this. Trust me, I know how to do it. It was just, I'm too lazy to do it at this point. What did I say? Let me pull this down. Okay. So I spent $1,282.64 to win $1,295, and I own all of these cards, which might be worthless now. Who knows? Let's see. Is there an easy way for me to do this? I actually don't think there is. All of my Challenger rare cards. Oops. Yeah, because I still have all of these. $8,000. I don't think that's actually right, but I mean, even if I just sorted it by let's see, 2024 Challenger rare. And even just like the highest floor right now we could see. Like Stoikers is at $100. Oli at 60. God, that's so bad. And so like again, I own all of these. And yeah, Ben says Challenger Classic next season. Unfortunately, I already play Challenger Classic pretty regularly. But and like the Midland collection is staying with me. That's not. But like, I've broken even and I own all these cards. And the nice thing is I've still got like 2 months to try to win some more. I don't really plan on buying any more in-season cards. And I think I'm in a decent spot. But sometimes you just have to keep going. Nobody likes to hear the advice like when their blue cost line is so much higher than their red reward. And you're just like, no, just keep going. Maybe it'll like if you're doing the right thing, you just have to believe in it. And I almost sold all my cards the other day. I just couldn't take it anymore. I was like, and realistically, I was going to do all my limiteds, but it is, it is what it is. Sorry, I avoided the chat. Sora Samurai said that's like a return every 3 weeks. It's not a terrible record for just one comp. It's like every 3 weeks, but it's like it's frustrating when every 3 weeks you're winning $20 when you've spent over $1,000. Agent Cooper said, I suppose it could be worse. Imagine it went down to decimal points and said 0.03 points to safety. Yeah, nobody wants that. Toby said, just checking, when you buy a card, do you then deem that as a sunk cost, or if the price reaches a certain level, do you sell? I didn't look to sell any of these cards. The only time I thought about selling was this Jacob Briam, because I was like, I don't need 2 cards of a guy who's out for the season. So I sold this one. But like you can see, it's the only card I've sold. And like, I'm not going to sell the Midland ones. Like that, I have a 5% collection, but like, I guess they have one a little bit. $570 I spent on this, and the rewards from that are 127. God, that's awful. But maybe they'll surprise me for the rest of the season. I don't know. Ben said, looking at this just makes me think how insane 205, 250 threshold was. Yeah, literally insane. For those of you who are relatively new, Sorare used to pay out 200 or 0.01 ETH if your lineup in All-Star Rare scored 205 points, and 0.02 if it scored 250. And you could use a common card, one common card that had a 50% point penalty. Jacob said, breaking even is not like an expectation, though. Breaking even is a win in my book, said Agent Cooper. Oh, Jacob said, the fact you were broken even is a massive win. I wouldn't say it's a massive win, but it's, yeah, I don't know. Sir Samurai said, that chart shows how the change to divisions was positive. Much easier to be in Division 1, and even Division 2 has good rewards to help break even or even double or treble the investment. So also the other thing, which I'm surprised nobody brought up here. My score would have won Division 1. Which is crushing. I actually don't know if when I won Division 4, it's not even worth it. It's not even worth looking. Sora Samurai said, breaking even seems like a great result given that you still have all the cards. Yeah, maybe. Jump shoot, why the burger icon? So there was a time when Sorare gave away or had like these, like you could get these, what are they called? They're not like avatars. They're not widgets. I forget what the word is, but they had these things, badges. And they had this burger, and I think you had to use your points your Sorare coins to get them. And I got the burger, and then they discontinued it. And so this burger icon is just a symbol that I'm better than you. That's all. Sorare Samurai, I did not craft a super rare yesterday. I went to craft my super rare and then realized that my lineup had fallen outside of the essence. So I'm still stuck on 19. Jumpshoot said, looks like the MLB blog is coming out on Monday for the new season. Ooh, that's nice. Who said, I just bought an Angel Di Maria limited for $1.50. What if Sorare prices come to? I mean, in season. I mean, he's been hurt, hasn't he? I also have a Di Maria, which, so going through all of that, I also went through my Challenger limited, and limited has been a disaster for the most part. Like I'm not close. And that includes like a $50 hit at one point. Yeah. So the other ironic thing, had I run this, like I have the lineup that helped me win Division 2 in rare, I could have made in limited. Like I have all of these limited cards right here. Olai, Irdhusen, El Korani, Haspelat, and Stoikers. I can do that in limited. Like you can see here, Olai, Irdhusen, and Stoikers. And in limited, instead of El Korani, I had Nick Viergiver, who actually had a clearance off the line taken away, or a last man tackle. I don't remember. And I played a Magnus Matson instead of Haspelat. And I did that because where's the A to Z order is what I want. I did that because I actually played El Korani with Barkas and Haspelat. Like I basically, like my winning rare lineup was Olai, Irdhusen, Haspelat, Stoikers, and El Korani, and that would have won limited Division 1-2. The reason I have Vasilis Barkas, who's the Utrecht goalie, in limited, but I don't have it in rare. So like I'm always going to play these two together, Barkas and El Korani. But like I could have played them with Haspelat and Stoikers, but I didn't. So yeah, that's all it is. Which was kind of disappointing because I was like, oh, winning both would have been quite cool. But I didn't. And I won $4 there and $4 here. And or excuse me, $4 and $5. And I'm just chipping away, and it's just not, from the limited standpoint, I'm just not getting nearly as much as I am from that I got in rare. And there's my Di Maria. I spent $11.64 on a Di Maria card back in it was December. I bought it for the Neon Special, and then he didn't even play. Like most of these, like the best cards I have are Rofe and Watanabe from Ghent. And it's because they were in that $50 lineup with Kohler, Briam, and Zakaria Elouadi. And it's tough. Limited is just very, very tough. And I feel like I'm getting closer, but and again, like similar to rare, like you just need the one big one. Like these were obviously a bunch of small ones, but like that $200 win for D4, like it helps. Obviously it helps. But I thought I had it this past weekend, to be honest. I thought that lineup was going to be the one that, like, I thought this lineup was going to be it. Barkas, El Korani, Haspelat, who actually looks like he had a significant point reduction. He had a triple double. Yeah, he lost an interception. How annoying. Wait, that's a double double? Yeah, he had a triple double. Anyway, Vanaken was terrible. And obviously Matson was really bad. And I played Matson in both. But we just keep chugging away. But really on the rare side is, I feel like I'm not going to be on the aircraft carrier with the mission accomplished sign behind me, but my expectation is that I'm not buying any more in-season challenger cards. Maybe I can't think of why I would buy one now, other than like just some collection pieces for really any of these collections. Knowing that had I had a little more like the ones that are kind of important, obviously, like Sparta. Let's see how far away I am. Like I'm 200 points from the next level. I'm not going to buy so many cards at that. Even with the goalie and defender, 240 for the next one for Haspelat. Here in Veen, I have some like Colert, but 110. I'm probably not going to do that. And then Genk. I probably should have done this a while ago. Like I probably should buy some Genk cards to get Smets and Stoikers up because they're such good scorers. So I don't know. I don't know if I will or not. I just know that like obviously anything I buy from now on basically puts me into deficit again. Goose said, when was the last time you bought a Sorare card for fun? I just bought a few Benfica cards for fun. It's such an enjoyable feeling to buy without the pressure in your head that they need to smash. I did it like 2 weeks ago, maybe not even. I bought a Aurelian Chouameni Monaco card. Where is that card? Maybe it was longer. Oh, I guess it was much longer ago. There it is. 25 days ago, I bought this card. I just think this is like, yeah, I think this is a really cool card. And I bought it. And somebody offered me this Rafael Anyadika because it was a Midtjylland card, but and these are all the MLS ones. That's probably the last card I bought. Actually, the one. So I'm cheating a little bit here. Why isn't that working? Because one of the cards I bought recently, it won't even let me hit that. That I bought because I play Contender, but I actually just really wanted it, was the Neymar jersey mint. This card. I love this card. Wonder why I can't. Can I only boost if I have 5,000? You can't like partially boost? That's annoying. I didn't know that. I only have 1,500 rare. Huh. So I need what, 5,000 to boost this card? That's annoying. Anyway, so yeah, Chouameni and Neymar. Yeah, there you go. Dobbsy knew. Agent Cooper, my conclusion from all this would be that playing rare in season is the best way to win on Sorare, as long as you have the right cards, obviously. Probably easier in Challenger and Contender than Champion. I don't think it's necessarily easier in Challenger and Contender. Like I play Champ. Where was I? In season Champ. Like I had a couple like decent hits in Champ. I probably have spent much more. Yeah, I'm not even remotely close. And like I shouldn't have done this, but here I am. But then you get to do cool things like I crafted a David Raya because I play Champ in season, and I actually sold it this morning. But like things happen, you never know. I think you can play the same way. What's funny is that one of the things I realized after I won this, and like winning cash, winning cash on Sorare obviously gives you some like, ammunition to bolster your cards. And like I've been playing MLS limited in season, and winning $700 goes a long way to getting limited cards for, well, any limited cards. But I I didn't want to take that money and just be like, oh yeah, let me just go buy Carlos Heel and Evander and Messi and just like run the best guys, because I'm those prices I think are still at a point where they're too high for what you can win. And I don't think having kind of a bigger balance now is going to change the way I play, because I prefer to have kind of the lower risk of the lower cost risk and try to grind that out. And like, I mean, this chart is like the definition of grinding out until it hits. And I'm confident enough in what I'm doing that I think it'll hit at some point. Will it? Like, there's no guarantee it will, obviously, but I think I can. I'm confident in my own abilities to recognize players that are in good situations, or I have access to people who can do that as well, and say like, hey, you should check this guy out. And I make my own decisions on whether I should buy those cards or not. And so, but a lot of this game is just waiting for it to work. And it's super frustrating for some people because they're just like, this isn't working. And I think there's a very big difference between this isn't working and this hasn't worked yet. And I went back and forth. I'm still struggling with that with the limited ones of like, wait, this didn't work. And it's like, well, it hasn't worked yet, but I'm less confident that that will work than I was on the rare side. Sorare Samurai said, would the cash from any more wins in rare go to covering your limited challenger strategy or be profit that you would use elsewhere? I'll just use it however. Like once I have the funds in, I'm just like, whatever. But as of right now, I consider the in-season challenger. So that's the thing. Like, I don't even necessarily consider it a success. Like breaking even is nice in terms of like what I've spent versus what I've won. I still have all the cards, but like I don't really have a plan to sell all the cards. And if I'm not selling them, then then they just become like a piece of my classic gallery that doesn't really like churn many rewards or cash. And so what those cards are like worth doesn't matter. Like I'm just back to zero in my mind. And it took me from the end of July to the beginning of March to get to zero. Am I going to try to continue to compete for the next 2 months with these cards? Of course. Now that I'm in Division 1, maybe I can win Division 1 this week. Let's see what. I don't even know what I can put out. Actually, I think I made a lineup already for this week for Challenger. Let's see. In season. Here we go. Oh, yeah, they're all away guys. So I'm actually going against Gator Guy here. But there's Olai, Eardhusen, Stoikers, and then I have Sims here and Smets, and then Midtjylland here, as long as they don't change goalies again. Like I can still go after it. But I'm not nearly as confident about that one. Ben said, I'm really off put by buying new cards right now. The XP changes make it so hard to gain XP. I'll be significantly behind on XP for so long. I'm just not even sure it's worth buying cards now anyway. Meaning like buying all the cards I own, they're probably cheaper now than when I bought them. But yeah, the XP difference is not helpful, but that doesn't mean you can't compete. Mike said, so if you have 4 great matchups, but not the last card, and it's for D1 win chance, you wouldn't buy another rare? Methinks you would succumb for FOMO on $1,800. Mike, I honestly don't know, but I don't think so. I think I have enough options where I'm just like, no, I'm going to play the top ones because frankly, the best, like if I have 4 really good card matchups and the last card, whatever the last card is, like I'm guessing that's going to be expensive. And I don't think it's a risk that I would end up taking, knowing how hard it is to like actually finish first. Magnus said, looking back, are there anything you would do differently in your buying strategy besides specific collections? So I mean timing of them or the amount. So I think I would try to be better at the random fill-in cards. So like I don't really, as angry as I am about Negley and Madsen going to the championship, like I don't hate it that much. Negley, I was strongly considering like a big Sparta Rotterdam collection. I actually have a Julian Bass who I might have put over in my contender. Do I have him here? Oh, I do. So like that Julian Bass card, When did I buy that? What does that say? December? I don't know. Negley was obviously the first Sparta card. I have a classic of his. Like I thought he was good, but like, so I don't fault myself. But like the Theo Leone and that Bulat Krastev, I think I was just getting a little cute. But I think I would try to not do those. I say that, and like Vlap worked out really well, but he kind of fits into that. That I think buying these like one-off cards, I wasn't going to build a 20 collection, and I wasn't going to build a Zwola collection, and I think those things matter. And so I think looking back, I would just kind of avoid those things. And I've had a few people, I've talked about this with a couple people, and they were like, the Midtjylland collection was like for fun. And while I agree with that, like I have multiple Midtjylland collections because I'm a psycho. And but ultimately, I thought I could win from them. And so I haven't really, but God, look at this, so many collections of Midtjylland. But so it's like, if I didn't have these other Midtjylland collections, would I have bought a Midtjylland collection? Absolutely not. Like, no way. And so when I look at like the fact that I've spent $1,200, 500 of which was Midtjylland. Now, again, like some of my Midtjylland cards have won me some cards, have won me cash, excuse me. Like I think that, yeah, Ousmane Diao was in that $200 lineup. And my Olafsson classic card was there, which I don't count here. But, and like Emiliano Martinez, I played early in the season. He's in Brazil now. Like they're okay. But could I have like gotten these results without Midtjylland and used maybe some of those funds on other players? I think I could have won maybe I could have won more. But I don't know for sure. But yeah, it's really the one-off cards, the Leones and stuff that I kind of like regret. And I might not do as much of that the next time. Dobsy said, I honestly think Challenger is hardest to do well in due to there being like 3 elite teams. Why? Who are there even 3 elite teams? Like, who are they? Like, is it supposedly PSV, Fenner, and somebody? Or Gala, I mean? Like, I don't know. Are you going to break your withdrawal virginity? No, heavens no. Heavens no. Albrico, will you do it again next year? I assume so. Sorso said you'll have great classic depth next season to try and win a few new in-season cards. So the problem is that yes, I will have like classic depth. The problem is like with such as the Midtjylland collection, like I don't need 2 classic Elias Olafssons and 2 classics. Actually, this Simsier one, this is a forward and this is a mid. So like that's a bad example, but it's, yes, I'll have depth, but yeah. Sir Samurai said, I'm only buying Argentine and Asian cards for Contender now and no European ones. I think that's smart. Just Mike had said, is this their way to slowly take away XP off the game? It might be. I think they want newer players to not be so far behind. Yeah. Dobbs, you're right. I bought them for fun, and it was fun, the opportunity to win with them, and to keep my street cred in the Sorare Scandinavia Discord. Sorare Samurai, is there a reason you chose to do the same collection multiple times and not spread across multiple collections instead? Are you talking about just Midtjylland, or because part of the reason why I don't want to spread collections that widely is it makes it much more difficult to track all the news. And so that's why I tend to buy the same cards in different scarcities and different years. And I just think that just from an ease of play, that the more you spread out wide, and like I play champ, challenger, contender, all in rare. I play challenger and contender in limited. I play MLS in limited. And it's just like at some point, it's just too many cards. It's not too many. There's too many lineups, too much time, and like I don't want to have to research so many different teams to make sure all of my guys are starting. Where it's like, oh, Simseer is going to start this week. Okay, now I know that I have 2 rares, a super rare, and 2 limiteds that I know are going to play, instead of having to do that for 5 separate players. Johanneton, just wondering, if you were to go to Denmark and Sorare gave you tickets, would you count that into your ROI calculation? I would not. Because I got tickets to St. Pauli versus Bayern for my St. Pauli collection, and that paid for the whole collection. Well, that didn't pay for anything. You just got free stuff. Dobbsy said Gala, PSV, and Benfica Sporting when Anarim was there. Yeah, but like PSV haven't even been that good this year. Sporting too. Like, I don't think so. Halligan said, did you see Nepenthes' video about a Stuttgart strategy? I think I'm going to do the same thing with Rosenberg for this season. I saw that he had a bunch of Stuttgart cards. I did not watch the video yet on the strategy, so I will do that. And did he do a specific video about that one? Or was it like part of one of his 17-hour streams that he does every day? Nepenthes Sorare. Let's see. What does Nepenthes Sorare? New MLS strategy. And to see in-season champ Euro strategy from 3 days ago. I'll check that out. If anybody's curious, it's over here on Nepenthes Sorare. Go check him out. Like and subscribe. Sorare said, be honest, you will buy a new collection each year just in the hopes of getting a jersey in a collection event. So I don't have to do that. For those watching, I'm just showing off my Midland. I mean, for who are listening, I'm just showing off my Midland autographed jerseys. How many autographed team jerseys do you need? Sir Ben said, contender in season, rare last game week. I also won Division 2 and would have won Division 1. It's hard, but c'est la vie. Yeah, I mean, it's not hard. It is what it is. Dobbsy said, honestly think stacking isn't the way to win. You're just trying to beat the other stacks. So my collections don't stack much. Like I'll stack during like a midweek where, if there's a Champions League game or something like that, let's be honest, it'll be Conference League given the cards that I buy. But I don't buy collections with the goal of stacking. Certainly not. Because I don't think stacking is the best way to win, at least in the competitions I play. Like maybe it works better with Prem or Bundesliga or La Liga. It probably works better for like Barcelona and Bayern, maybe Leverkusen, Stuttgart maybe. And the Prem, Liverpool and Arsenal. But like, I don't think, I genuinely believe that there's usually a better option than playing 5 guys from the same team. Berger, how did your Asia comp go? I didn't play. Johanneton said, but isn't getting free stuff that's worth $100 and your collection costing $100 the same thing? I don't think it's the same thing at all. I would say that you bought $100 worth of stuff and got $100 worth of stuff. Like, I think once you buy the collection, you've bought it. Like, I don't think you're probably selling it. Maybe you yield a little bit from it, but like you paid $100 and then Sora's like, hey, here's $100 worth of tickets. Like, I don't consider it ROI at all. Halligan said he pretty much just runs 3 in-season teams of Stuttgart with different combinations of players. That's weird. Berger, I do need to get them framed. It's on the list. I got big plans that involve those getting framed, but I'm not there yet. Oh, Dobbsy wasn't talking to me. Okay. Yeah. About his non-stacking. But anyway, that's where I am. I will say that I started to do my spreadsheet, or I started to update it with Contender too. And this is Contender's really tough because like I started tracking it last May with my 2024 River Plate cards and Racing cards, and now I have 2025 Racing cards, and I don't know where to turn it over. Like Contender is just like Challenger is now easy because it's just one, it's just the European season now that MLS isn't involved. So it's like, how did I do with my 2024-25 cards? And with Contender, it's like, well, I have 2024 Liga MX cards that I bought in like last summer that are still going, but now I also have like Argentina cards that started in January. And so where do I cut it off? And I'm not sure. I'm not sure. Soul said, how is the decoration going? I remember a tin of paint months ago. So it's funny you say that. I actually put the paint up on the wall, the other walls in this room, to see what it looks like. And I'd like to paint soon. Once I paint, we'll be cooking. Dobsy said he bought 3 of the goalkeepers and Stiller, then 2 of others for the stacks. Yeah, I mean, yeah, once you got collection bonuses for every card you bought, like that Jacob Briam card, like I had 2 rares, and it's like, well, they both technically got the 1% bonus from my jersey mint, but it's, I don't know. That seems like an extremely high risk, high reward. So we'll see. I don't know. Like, I get it. We need a room tour at some point. So Johanneton, it's borderline embarrassing how like amateur my setup is for someone who does this like professionally. But one of the wonders of like live streaming every day is like it doesn't have to be super glamorous, but like the room I'm in right now is probably, what do you guys use? Square meters? Or do you use something weirdly different? But it's probably like 20 something, not even. It's a small room. And I have a weird thing about this with this room where I currently am is like the only wall. So like right over here to my left is the door to the room. And then there's a closet door over in the corner. And then this whole wall right here is windows. And then I have this wall, which has this, I'm in the top of my house. And so this is like literally the roof line here that cuts in. And so this is the only non-door and non-windowed wall behind me. And I thought about changing the perspective a little bit, which will include having a door behind me. Because either if I turn around, then the closet door is behind me. And if I turn 90 degrees, which is what I was really thinking, and basically I would be looking out the window, like the window would be behind my camera. The door to the room would be behind me. And I always felt like it was weird to see a door like behind, like you're watching somebody stream and there's a door behind them. And it's like, it feels like at any moment somebody would just walk in, even though it's not like nobody's going to be walking in. And so, yeah, that's why. But I'm going to redo this room, and I'm fairly certain I'm going to change the perspective of the heat what you guys are seeing right now, where I will actually move 90 degrees and you'll see the door behind me. But I'm not completely convinced yet. It all depends on a lot of things. But ultimately, yeah, it's not a very big room. And like from the wall behind me to the wall like in front of me now is probably 12 feet, 3.5 meters or so. I don't know if that's an equivalent. 12 feet in meters, 3.65. God, I'm good. And it's a square room. So yeah, 12 by 12 feet, 144 square feet. And yeah, there's only so much I can do in here. But again, it's also like if you guys would laugh if you saw like what I'm looking at right now, and maybe I'll share that um, after I change everything. NEP and high risk, high reward go hand in hand. He loves to be high risk, high reward. He said it would be great if he could just play Arsenal teams every week, and if they smash, he's first, second, and third. Why can't he play Arsenal every week? Sir Samurai said, "I love the drawings of badges, though. That should stay." It's funny. I actually don't. I don't think that they're going to stay. My kids drew these. Like they're mostly my oldest daughter, but she just like hand draws. Like she'll look at at the crests or the logos, and then she'll hand draw them. But yeah, I have River Plate there, Barcelona. I did not because that's Maxime's favorite team. West Ham was for Scosmo. Maybe it was Andy Black. I don't remember. Lille was for Zora, actually. He didn't know that. AC Milan, I think, was just an easy one. I don't even have any Milan players. And obviously, Midtjylland right there. And I don't know why we did Atletico Madrid. Probably João Felix, now that I think. And then the one right behind me is just a nice landscape that I liked. But yeah, maybe those will probably come down from the wall, but I don't know if I'll actually like get rid of them. Maybe I'll do something with them. My wife thinks they're like incredibly amateurish, and she doesn't like that they're like peeling. Like I get it; it doesn't look all that glamorous, but there's not a whole lot of glamour in live streaming every day about a fantasy football game. So I don't want to make anyone think that I'm doing this from like the beach in a very expensive, from Monaco or something like that. It's just, yeah, that's all it is. Yeah. And then there's like a bunch of books over here that I've never read. There's a couple I've read. I mean, I can't even see what they are. Yeah. They're just some stuff. Having in Lairdinho in the life video. Maybe. Does anyone else ever go in this room, or is it just you? It's just me, Mike. Let me rephrase. Occasionally, my wife will come up here and she's like, "This is what it looks like up here," and I was like, "Oh, well, yeah, classic wife stuff." And it becomes a bit of a storage area for some of our stuff, which is not great because it's just, yeah. Agent Cooper said you could have done a Quinny and bought yourself a Sorare studio if you had that team in Division One. Yeah, that's harsh. Yeah, I don't think I need much else, to be honest. I'd like to. So there's other things that'll come up in a little bit of time. You guys will see that, but the yeah, the redesign needs to happen, and but again, there's only like so much I can do in this room because it's fairly small, and yeah, it's just a small room. But we'll see. Mike said, weren't most of the badges done in COVID times? Sorry, I was trying to see if they were dated at all, but they're not. Oh, my son did this one. Excuse me, he wrote his name on there. I mean, wasn't everything? Sorare Samurai, my wife does not watch these streams, but also like what you guys see looks fairly organized. And it's because you can't see the rest of the room. Sorare Soul, it's funny. Thought you'd be a standing desk guy by now. That's one of the things I considered. So the windows in this room, like they're all along this wall, are they're not low, but I was going up there. Basically, the height, like the window sill, is the height of this. It's not even a desk. It's like the table that I have everything on, and a standing desk. So if I put it against the windows, which is what I wanted, which means I'll end up inevitably doing streams where I'm wearing sunglasses because the sun is going to come in and shine right into my face, and I'm going to be here like. But ultimately, that's what I'm going to do, and if I got a standing desk, it would be higher than the windowsill. So you would walk in and it would just be weird to have like the table. You guys wouldn't see this, but I would be like cutting off some of the window, like for myself. But I don't know. Maybe it's not a bad idea. I'm thinking about it. Like I have like multiple times almost bought a standing desk, and I was like, it's one of those things. I was like, I really should paint the room first, but maybe buying the standing desk would actually get me to paint the room and figure that out. So said, "Oh, you would have to wear pants." I wouldn't have to, not at all, because I'm still like the only difference would be you would see this, except instead of sitting down like I am right now, I would be standing. But you're still only just seeing like chest up. It's not like I'm going to be. It's not like I'm a weatherman and I'm like looking at the green screen behind me, showing you when it's going to rain, and you see like all of my body. It's really just still. So like, yeah, no, pants are not an issue. What's your favorite football badge? Um, like on my wall or just ever? I don't really. I don't know. There was like were they Series C, Series B? There was one like aquatic Italian one that I really liked. I think it had a dolphin jumping out of the water, but I can't remember what it was. Um, can you keep the camera where it is though, even if you stand? Like, do you want what? You want me to stand now so that you can just like look at my Pescara? Good call, Mike. Um, Pescara logo. It's actually not quite as nice as I remembered it. Yeah, that's not my favorite. Anyway, now expecting a Laird green screen pull down to show his Excel charts. Oh, I totally should have done that. Ah, I have a green screen. Oh, Dobbsy. Oh, you don't know what you just opened up. Yeah, maybe we'll do that. I meant for your neighbors through the window. Oh, the pants thing for my neighbors. No, I'm actually on the third floor where I am, and maybe I don't know. I don't care if they can see me live streaming in my underwear. I think if your wife watches this stream back, she'll turn to you just before you're about to fall asleep and say, "Shouldn't have gone for that Sparta collection." I almost never talk to my wife about Sorare, like the game. Like she doesn't care, but she like knows it's like my livelihood. But like, there's nothing about Sorare really that I would talk to her about. What's funny is that I do talk to her about conversations I have with people that I talk to. Like we are friends because of Sorare, but we talk about things that are not Sorare related at all. Like yesterday, like the last 20 minutes of yesterday's show. And it is funny when there's a little bit of like that's what you did at work today. And that's when I have to be like, oh, but yeah, it is. Um, and yeah, so it's things like that and I think I talked about this a little bit, maybe it was on Monday, but there is something about Sorare where because we all play, we join this kind of this community of people who have a common interest, which is Sorare. But that doesn't mean that the only thing we can talk about to each other is Sorare, if that makes sense. Like just because you're watching a stream about Sorare and somebody's like, oh, and they talk about something completely different and you're just like, whoa, I don't want to hear about that at all, if it is something that you want to hear about. And so that's why we kind of go off topic a little bit on things that are not Sorare related, because the Sorare experience itself is not just these are people I play Sorare with and all we do is talk about Sorare and like that's it. That there is this community aspect where you're like, oh, you also like this thing that is not Sorare, let's talk about that. And sometimes it is. Bring back the food chat for a weekly segment. Food chat was elite yesterday. There we go. Ooh, I like this, Mike. Laird equals so rare. Mrs. Laird equals no care. That's a good one. Do you mention when you win big? I don't. I don't. Has your wife seen Joao Felix's rare price chart history? That's a great line. No, heavens no. Like there was a time on So Rare where my gallery was worth like, let's see how painful this is. I was going to say $150,000, but I don't think it was that high. But maybe it was. I don't know. 120,000, 124,000. And there was not a second where I was like, I should sell all my cards for $125,000. Not a second. So I was like, why would I sell something for $125,000 when it's going to be worth 1.2 million in about 3 weeks? Sorry, Samurai said, you can't mention the big wins or she may be expecting some gifts. The only time she may hear of it is it's actually my son. Like he has Sorare data on his phone and checks my lineups and he's like, oh, you're winning $700 this week. And it doesn't really like perk up because it's all, I mean, it's not fake money at this point, but yeah, it's like, I don't know, it's separate from my life and thankfully. And yeah, that's all it is. Play money on So Rare so I can keep being employed. I mean, I play So Rare so that like we have something to talk about every day. Like if I'm not actively playing, then everything that we do, like having a daily show about So Rare or about things that are discussed in the So Rare community, even if they're not about So Rare, doing that without playing So Rare, like you run the risk. It's not even a risk. You will not be entertaining or helpful at all. And so, like, I don't necessarily play So Rare for a living. Obviously, like my living depends on So Rare, but there's an aspect of it that is, you know, we all come in here and watch and or listen, and it has become kind of a part of the routine for a lot of people. It's obviously become my routine, and it's one of the ways that So Rare just keeps us entertained for as much as possible. Just turn into a food channel. I'm sure we will all still watch. You should be able to expense your cards to work. Yeah, well, go with Harry to Southern food places and vlog. Like, careful what you wish for. Careful what you wish for. Thank you to everybody for coming. If you could please like, subscribe, all that good stuff. Shout out to Quinny. If you want to see non-So Rare content, like food stuff or what my office looks like, leave a comment in the video below, and maybe we'll get some behind the scenes stuff or just different scenes. Hashtag Laird and Harry on tour. Let's go. Let's go. Anyway, speaking of going on tour, please remember to go outside.